Hello and a very good morning. Thanks for tuning in to News9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi. Joining me here in the broadcast is my colleague Varghese P. Abraham. And Varghese and I essentially every day at 8 a.m. take a look at what have we missed over the night essentially. What are the top headlines that you should know? What are the top newspapers saying? What are some of the top headlines on the internet suggesting? And what's the social media buzz with? We've got a new application at our hands, Threads now. I've pestered and forced Varghese to join Threads by Instagram. So we'll tell you all about it, and we have a lot to cover. Of course, I'm reading here on the front page of the Indian Express. It says it's an Express exclusive where Brij Bhushan molested, stalked, and is liable to be prosecuted and punished. This coming from the Delhi police. So a first categorical indictment of the former WFI chief. That's something that we're going to talk about. Manipur is again going to be in our focus. Most of the deaths are taking place in Imphal, East and West. And let's not forget that the Supreme Court has been given that fresh status report on Manipur. The Bengal Panchayat polls, the counting is happening today. The pre-poll violence, I mean, it's no news to everybody. Even the governor here, he's in Delhi trying to talk about the pre-poll violence and how that's a blot on democracy. Along with that, extremely heavy rain warning for northeast India. And whilst we're talking about rain, we're going to again throw some light on the devastating rains in the north of India, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. You talk about portions of Uttar Pradesh, completely battered. And of course, scrapping of Article 370 helped Jammu and Kashmir is what the government has told the court. So essentially too much to talk about. Is there going to be a cabinet berth in the Modi government for Chirag Paswan? Again, that disqualification politics around the Maharashtra potboiler doesn't seem to be ending. Again, 15 MLAs from the Shinde camp, it seems,
including Shinde himself.
Shinde himself might face disqualification. So what's going to happen with the chief minister and 14 other of his loyalists? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. And of course, Lakshya Sen's big feat. That is something that we're going to talk about as well. But first and foremost, Varghese, I'm still looking at pictures. It says rain continues to batter Himachal. The Solan Bias washed away a section of a bridge in Bhuntar Valley in Himachal Pradesh's Kullu district on Monday. Many parts of North India continue to reel under heavy rain. In Himachal Pradesh, 18 people have died. And again, when we're talking about death toll, we must tread carefully because different kind of numbers are going to be reported
There's a lot
everywhere.
Of numbers. So as of now, we can safely say that about 30 people have been killed in this rain-related incidents, and probably in the
just in the north,
in the north, where we have most of those incidents have been reported as well. Also, Kabir, yesterday I was trying to tell you what could be the sense of loss that we are looking at, and today, of course, the Tribune has been able to put a number to it. Worst rain crisis, Himachal pegs its losses to 4,000 crores. That is
in terms of property.
In terms of property damage. So
wow.
I'll just read that small this thing for you. Several scary incidents of cloudburst, landslides, and flash floods, fueled by third day of torrential rains, were witnessed in Himachal on Monday. The state government has pegged its government's estimate that the losses could be around rupees 4,000 crore, even as the death toll has reached 17. That is only in Himachal. So this is what we are.
And it's not just Himachal; it's all of North India. I mean, take a look at what's happened in the national capital, in the adjoining areas. Gurugram is still pretty much a swimming pool, even as water is being pumped out. North India rain toll rises as water level turns dangerous. And the Prime Minister has taken stock of the developments in rain-affected areas of the country. Along with that, like we mentioned right in the beginning, extremely heavy rainfall, which is likely in northeastern India for the next 3 days.
That is, they are saying that this same disturbance will be moving towards northeast.
And this particular disturbance in itself is a combination of two
western disturbances
systems.
and the monsoon trough. Together they are interacting, and that's why we have this huge rain that we are witnessing, especially in the northern belt. And that is why we have a lot of this rain that has been put up. And
in the national capital, ladies and gentlemen, the Yamuna River is flowing way above the danger mark. All schools till class 5 have been, shut down. Water level in the Yamuna River breached the 206 millimeter danger mark on Monday night, prompting government agencies to begin evacuation of people living in the floodplains and low-lying areas along the banks of the river at ITO, Kashmiri Gate and near Akshardham and the DND flyway. At 11 p.m., the river was flowing at 206.04 mm at the water gauge installed at the old Yamuna bridge.
Yesterday, remember, Atishi, who was out there, said that they are going to monitor, the Delhi Minister Atishi was out on this, and they are monitoring the situation in the Yamuna, and they would take accordingly. They said we'll have to wait for today morning because the dams had opened up, and by the time the water reaches, they would be having an idea of what the flow is going to be like. So probably this action is born out of that monitoring that has happened. Meanwhile, it is not only the Yamuna, the Ghagar has also swollen, and Haryana's low-lying areas have been hit. 6 people have been killed, and there is another statistics, Kabir, which is actually quite worrying. 10,000 acres of fields have been submerged in Karnal. Now, that's from the Tribune that we are hearing. Of course, the government has taken all the precautions required everywhere. The Prime Minister has taken stock of the situation, and he is closely monitoring it as well. A feed has been sent to him on that, what is the kind of rescue works that are being carried by the NDRF, as well as what are the losses that are being looked into and what can be done when it comes to, on the part of the government, what can be done post-flood situation, as well as the situation that would emerge immediately after the kind of losses that we are going to see, because 10,000 acres of field submerged in Karnal alone is going to be huge, and that's going to quite affect agricultural output. Also, we have a statement coming that Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar cancelled all his pre-scheduled programs and held an emergency meeting with the deputy commissioners.
Well, what more do you expect? But take a look at that. I mean, that's straight out of an apocalyptic scene from
these are
the
visuals
movie,
that were coming in,
shot in the Hollywood. Bunch of uprooted trees, and this is dangerous. Look at that. Look at that.
I mean, that is the picture that most of the newspapers have taken to explain what is the kind of situation that Himachal is facing, and that picture shows, remember yesterday, Kabir, I was telling you, like, this has the consistency of concrete, wet concrete. So just imagine this wet concrete flowing from a huge distance as well, and these were the boulders that had loosened up and had fallen at the highways. A lot of people have been stranded because of this. Meanwhile, parts of Patiala, Jalandhar have been flooded. 2 people have died because of rain-related incidents. This again, Tribune is reporting. Some of the aspects that they've highlighted is that crops, homes of at least 20 villages in Garshankar area impacted adversely. Swollen Siswan washes away Rupa Chamkal Sahib Road near Kamalpur village. After a breach in the Band, more than 15 villages near Phillaur witnessed heavy flooding. Army called in for rescue operations in Patiala, SAS Nagar, Fadgir Sahib and Jalandhar. So, rescue offers
in Uttar Pradesh, 42 rain-related deaths in just the last 3 days. At least 42 people were killed across Uttar Pradesh. This is just the state alone, in incidents triggered by heavy rain in the last 3 days. This coming from officials from the state. Of the total deaths, 22 were due to lightning, 14 by drowning, while 6 casualties were attributed to heavy rainfall. This according to the information provided by the State Relief Commissioner's office. Now, the incessant rain has thrown life out of gear. We're seeing it on our screens as well, particularly in the eastern part of the state. Meanwhile, the Met Department has predicted heavy rain accompanied by thunderstorms and lightning at several places in the state. CM Yogi Adityanath extended condolences to the families and those who lost their lives in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and instructed officials to distribute relief materials to the affected families. So 42 rain-related deaths in Uttar Pradesh themselves, just in the last 3 days. This as the north reels under rain, many dead as landslides and flash floods block roads. 7 dead in Rajasthan, Varghese, 2 dead in Punjab. NDRF, SDRF deployed in the state of Haryana. This even as the Prime Minister has called up all the chief ministers of these rain-affected areas and has assured centre's help. The Himachal toll has risen to 18 if the numbers put up by Indian Express are anything to go by. And property worth rupees 4,000 crore, like you said, has been damaged.
Well, the Hindu has spoken about what the situation has been. Yamuna inching closer to danger. Mark government starts evacuation, as you had pointed out, and they've given out the pictures on there in that page as to what exactly was happening in Delhi as the thing. But there's a very interesting cartoon here, and in that the headline is, there's an article down which says, same admits to drainage system issues no time for finger pointing is what is being said. But then let me show you the cartoon. I think let's focus on the cartoon. Here you have
On the draw.
On the draw, yeah, that is the special cartoon that they have taken. Yes, we are well prepared, and you have the whole of Delhi, in fact, sinking and flooded, and you have Arvind Kejriwal with his broom trying to go ahead with that Delhi report on probably the drains in the city and how it is functioning. So you have this cartoon that has been put out to say
Because
what
yesterday
is
as well,
exactly.
the Chief Minister said the same thing. The Chief Minister said the same thing, that we're well prepared. It's not going to be a flood-like situation. Well, most probably it's not going to be a flood-like situation, but don't worry, residents of Delhi. We're absolutely fine. Everything is under control.
How many of our colleagues came from places that were flooded?
I
How many
was
of
on
your
the
colleagues
street
were- you were out
myself,
there, yeah.
Varghese, on Sunday evening. I know exactly how well prepared Delhi was that evening.
Many of them, in fact, talking about how water was entering their homes, there was backflow through the drainage pipes, so there was building. So, I mean, it was horrible for them, a lot of them. So, most of our colleagues also made it quite late because of the problems that they faced because of the rains. And I think Delhi is completely unprepared. And yesterday also we were speaking about the drain system. Again, the drain system is in focus over here. There needs to be an extensive thought process put into it. Sedimentation being an issue, tertiary and secondary drains not being cleaned up, encroachments on these natural drains. 201 natural drains are there, of which how many are in existence and actually working is another big question.
I'm just happy that the citizens of Noida have come out and taken this fight back to Delhi.
Oh, what is that story?
About how Noida wasn't waterlogged at all. There's much better planning here. Noida is built by government agencies and not by builders like
In
other
Gurugram.
parts of Delhi NCR. But talking about this extreme rainfall in the northeast, we've seen floods in Assam as well, and what's
I
going to
think-
happen in the northeast is again, the rain-heavy system is going to shift to the east and the northeast. Record-breaking rain in Solan, which is 135 mm rainfall on Monday, breaking a 50-year-old record. So Delhi broke a 40-year-old record. Solan has broken a 50-year-old record. Banihal got 103.8 mm rainfall in the last 24 hours, which is highest for July since the year 1995. And in Bilaspur, 224 millimeter rainfall, surpassing previous records set in the year 2013, almost a decade ago. And in Chandigarh, 531.6 millimeter rainfall in 60 hours. That is 302.2 millimeters between Saturday and Sunday, which is highest for a 24-hour period ever since IMD started maintaining records for Chandigarh in the year 1953.
So
More
I
than
think that
65
a lot of
years.
records are going to be broken. With the way you're reading the statistics, it just shows that a lot of records are going to be broken, and they need to, in fact, be prepared for such things from now onwards. Simply because I think one thing that we should keep keen watch on is that a lot of climate records are being changed because of the kind of weather systems and the changes in weather systems that we are looking at. So we need to be prepared for such things right now because it's going to become very frequent. The once in a century kind of a situation does not exist anymore.
These are visuals from Assam, Varghese, the extreme rainfall that has ravaged Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, various parts of North India will likely subside by today, is what the Met Department is saying. Although there will be rain over Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and eastern Rajasthan, but the IMD is also saying that this heavy rainfall system is also likely to move over northeastern India and adjoining areas of eastern India in the next 3 days. In the past 2 days, an interaction between a western disturbance and a monsoon trough led to extremely heavy rainfall over Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and the North India. And now the unusual interaction of a western disturbance with monsoon trough can be devastating, as witnessed during the 2013 Uttarakhand floods. The good news is that a fresh western disturbance is not expected immediately, although experts warn that Himalayan states need to be prepared for the eventuality, in part due to climate change, which has also led to an increase in the moisture holding capacity of the atmosphere that can supercharge rainfall. India has already seen one western disturbance this year till the 10th of July. Most western disturbances occur in winter in the northern hemisphere, which is essentially December to the month of March. But this year has seen around 20 of them between March and May alone. Perhaps one reason for a milder summer in the north and the northwest India.
Just take a look at those visuals coming in. You can see how the water stagnates. I mean, you have the flowing water, and then you have the water gushing in, and then you have the stagnation bit that happens, and life is made very difficult with it.
Well, certainly, again, urging everybody to choose carefully when they should be stepping out, when they shouldn't be stepping out. Um, these overflowing river systems are definitely taking a toll in places that are low-lying and are inundating those areas with flood-like situations in most of these places, from Assam to Rajasthan to Uttarakhand and the national capital, the hilly states, the Himalayan states. It's all wreaking under the havoc of hefty, hefty rains. What's going to happen, even as Beas pummels key tourist spots in Himachal Pradesh? Punjab plans rescue operations as Ravi has now swollen up. Satluj in spate, nearly 100 villages going underwater. Ganga, Yamuna near the danger mark, and a flood alert in Haryana. But the Chief Minister of Delhi says, well, we're well prepared. We can only hope that good sense prevails and that you only step out if it's only necessary. Stay safe and stay dry, ladies and gentlemen.